GetSportsFocus is brought to you by Summit Partners, leaders in growth equity investing. Weightsandbars.com. Build your home gym and shop locally from the Bay Area's best fitness equipment experts. Ike's Love and Sandwiches. Championship level sandwiches every single time. South Bay Construction, a reputation built on trust. And by Fuel Good, fueling your success. Conveniently located in Santa Clara off Homestead Road. For more info, go to fuelgoodmealprep.com.
Nice, coach. Well, those were the highlights, the missing highlights from last week. I apologize, everybody, for being late. Lost the SD card in the move. Finally found it, and there you go. What do you think, Andrew? What do you think of the game?
It's good. I mean, they figured something out, but like you gotta, you try to keep the ball out of their hands. You gotta get creative. Let's just put it that way. You gotta get creative, and that was creative. So
Very creative.
I'll give them that. But other than that, great game. Played hard regardless. It doesn't matter. Like that was a hard fought game. I think Valley rose to that occasion, even with all the creativity that they had. They rose to that occasion to play hard in that game. But Serra did Serra things. So I'll leave it at that. Yeah.
No, compared this game to the Riordan Serra game, Serra played all three phases of the game properly. Special teams, I thought, was the difference maker. And when the game's on the line, the big players came out and made the play, and that was Jabari, man. He saved a touch. He had a touchdown saving tackle that would have made it 20-21 or 21-20 with about 2 minutes left in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Assuming that they were able to get the 2-point conversion, then it would have been a tie game. So no, I thought VC was very creative. They had 9 weeks to prepare. So they took all the plays that worked against Serra, put them all in the script. They probably charted like who's on the field on defense, right?
Mm-hmm.
They just did something ultra different than all the other teams, which I thought was genius. So what have we been talking about when it comes to like how do you beat Serra, or what can you do?
You just can't give them the ball.
Yeah.
That's it. Like you give them the ball, they're gonna do something with it.
Yeah.
Like they're majority of the time, like I feel like from all the games that we've watched, like it takes them maybe 2-3 plays, and then they'll score.
Yeah.
Rarely we see, unless they're like all the way down, like on their side of the field, then they'll go for a long drive. But like usually like whenever they get the ball, it's like either like 2, sometimes one play, and they're scoring. So it's like the if you could take that out, you can not shut them down, but you can slow them down.
Yeah. Well, it's a big deal to score against the number one defense in NorCal. But the way I see it is like, when you see a blowout game, usually towards the end of the game, the losing team that's being blown away, they normally score. Right? So the way I see it is like, there's only one more regular season game left. And I think the defense is just like, they're not doing it on purpose, but mentally, they know they're going to win. And yeah, they kind of rested a little and got caught off guard. And those were big time throws. A little bit of luck into it, tip ball right into the hands. But I thought the first one was well executed. It was like, you need to have the burst and the quickness. And this is what I got to credit Coach Amoko on this, because he trained those guys. Kai Hamilton, beautiful route. Boom, corner. beat his guy by a step, and made the catch.
Right.
Other times
Just
you'll see guys beating the defender and not making the catch.
right.
Right. So I thought that was awesome. So happy for those guys. You know, they're gonna enjoy having that on their highlight reel. But at the end of the day, even in the ugliest situation, they still won.
Yeah.
So great job, Serra. And speaking of Serra, we might as well jump into that game. Homecoming, senior night. SI is going to be in town. Night game at Serra at the Brady Family Stadium. Who's going to win this one?
Sarah. Sarah will win it. I think SI is still gonna stick around in it though. Like
I think so too.
this will be a good like, end of the regular season, end of league, getting ready for the playoffs. Both teams getting ready for the playoffs. Like I think SI needs this difficult task ahead of them before going into playoffs. So I think this will actually, and I'm just gonna say it this way, this is gonna benefit SI more than anything because it's gonna give them, that real big test right before the playoffs start. And then Sarah, SI can play all three phases of the game. So I think this is a good, just a good tune-up game for them. Again, no disrespect by using the word tune-up, because I know tune-up can be used in a negative connotation. But it's a good game for Sarah to play and, hopefully, get to see, their starters play a little bit longer just to get ready for this playoff stretch.
Oh, yeah. So against Riordan, Sarah's starters played pretty much all the way through halfway the fourth quarter. In this game, they were on the field pretty much the entire game.
Yeah.
And that's a huge thing because nobody really cramped up, which is good, which means they adjusted from the Riordan game to now. Last week, the week before when they played Riordan, some of those guys were starting to cramp up like towards the end of the third quarter. So you could see like they're not used to it. So I thought that was one thing that's worth discussing as well. Is like Serra looked healthy. They looked unfazed. They were motivated to deal with the adversity, which was like, it's crazy. You were texting me. Several people were texting me. It's like upset alert, upset. I was like, dude, it's like 7-7. That's not an upset alert. I mean, the clock was being juiced.
Yeah.
But I thought that was a great strategy as well, because to keep it 14-7 at the half, I was smart. The optics or whatever. It's like it sounded really, really good for Valley, right?
Right.
And Coach Scherenberg, man, he's also a genius. I mean, he prepared his guys, and they almost did it, and they kind of have the blueprint, a little blurred version of it, but they kind of gave a lot of attention. So, but as far as SI, Jarvis Hogan, great running back. Hopefully Soren Homo will have a great game. But at the end of the day, I think this will be a good test for SI, and for Serra, it's just going to be an opportunity to close this regular season out with a blowout win in front of their home crowd.
Yeah.
Night, and just wrap up the undefeated regular season. So last week was a full moon. Strange things were happening all over the place.
Yeah, that's you're saying that like very very
Right?
subtle. It was some weird stuff. So, but hey, that's sports, not just high school sports. That's sports for you. You never know what's gonna happen.
Yep. So who do you guys play? Who's MIDI playing?
I believe we're playing Valley, right?
Ah.
Come on. Honestly, this is probably one of my more comfortable like long sleeve shirts, but it's getting
there you go. Oh, that looks nice.
But it's I love it. I love these, like, I love the shirt. But I think with MIDI, again, we have yet
tough loss.
Yeah, we have yet to see them play to their full potential. I'm not saying this is no upset thing. This is like Midi's gonna find like they're gonna put it together and they're gonna play Valley Christian and they're gonna put them down. I'm 100% behind that. I would probably say it's gonna come down to the end. Durability is gonna be the kind of the key to see like who's gonna play. And then I honestly think like, with them, man, I'm just excited for Midi. Like I think if they're gonna do it. We're gonna see the complete Midi team. You're gonna see them play a complete game. And they're gonna win this. And I'm gonna call it. Do we even give a score for the Serra game?
Serra game 4-9-0.
Okay, let's just
I'm doing 49-0 every single week just because
you get close every time you call it.
I do think that they go out there with a shutout mentality. And no,
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll second that. 49-0 Serra over SI. Midi over Valley Christian. I'm calling 35-14. I think that could happen.
Okay. I'm not.
I know you're not.
Well, I'll tell you what, it all depends on the health of the Valley Christian Warriors. They're pretty banged up, which to me, like watching them play against Serra was like Rocky Balboa against
Which one?
Who's the guy, the first Rocky one, the first Rocky?
Apollo Creed?
Apollo Creed, yes. You got, Serra rolling up in there with, their cool gear and, all out in full force. And then Valley just kept getting punch me, bam, bam, bam. And they kept, they just kept getting up. I mean, you saw Stevens. He got hit so many times and he was like the Undertaker. He was up. It was like as soon as he goes down and he got hit hard. He got hit hard. You saw the highlights. I know I said this in the beginning, Coach. Valley Christian's line is pretty legit.
Oh, I know.
I know Riordan is claiming that they have the best line in NorCal. They do have a really, really good line, but you still got to execute and you got to win. Serra's got a great line, but the way Valley Christian played, I thought that was like a really solid line. I'll give them just a little bit the edge. I know it's going to make a lot of people mad, but a little bit. I think they're pretty good.
Well, they've been playing together for a while, so you got to give them that. Like they understand each other's tendencies already. There's a lot of trust built across that line. I think a lot of them have been playing together since like sophomore year. I think this line has been together for that long, so I think that does play into it. So when each other is like the guy to your left and the guy to your right, if you know all their tendencies, it does make it a little bit more flawless for them to block and also to execute, just because they already know. Okay, we know our guy's weakness. So okay, we know what to do to adjust to make up for that. So I think that's just the biggest edge, just like that camaraderie. I think they all train together in the offseason together too, if I'm not mistaken. So these guys built a long line of just that trench battling and that, just that trench development, all together. So I will have to agree with you on that one. They look very sound. For sure. Yeah. So Midi will have a tough one with that one, but I don't see them again, it's a durability thing, right? These guys also play, I think a good amount of them play both ways. So it's going to be a durability thing.
Yeah.
We'll see.
No,
and Midi's got depth. Midi's got depth.
They do. So it's going to be a tough game either way. Hopefully our guy EK is feeling better. He slammed his head on the turf while getting tackled and he had to go out. But
another fun one.
Super physical game, man. I hope they're okay, because if they are, they're going to beat your Monarchs. And I'm hoping that they are, because I'm going to pick Valley Christian to beat the Monarchs.
It's a mistake.
Oh, Midi hates me so bad. No.
It's okay. I'm actually wearing.
Prove me wrong, right? Prove me wrong. Make me proud, Valley Christian. You made me proud last week against Serra. I was like, whoa, I was just bummed that I couldn't find the SD card until now. But the way they played, heart and hustle, they believed, but it was just like they're not there. They weren't just there. They couldn't finish, and it's about finishing. So
Right. I also think this is I also think this is the first time since we've been doing this that I actually wore a midi shirt.
no, you've worn it. You've worn a midi shirt.
Mm-mm.
Oh
I
no,
have
you've
not.
got a midi backpack. You've shown a midi backpack. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually wearing a midi shirt, so
Yeah.
I'm putting all the chips are in on you guys. Come on, black and gold.
I'm
Let's
all
make
for
it.
the Under Armour schools. Trying to get that
Check,
sponsorship.
checks over whatever this is.
It's called the Under Armour. All right, who's
Love it.
next? We got Midi Valley, Serra SI. Serra SI is out of the way. Midi Valley, Sacred Heart
Riordan.
Cathedral, and Riordan. I don't even know where this game is getting played, but it's for a trophy. I know that.
It's
One of
another
the
SF.
piece.
The many SF rivalry games that they have.
Yes, yes. Do
This
we?
is a
Yeah,
mismatch for just on like just not even just on paper, but like in terms of like I guess depth of talent as well. Not saying that Sacred Heart doesn't have some talent on there. It's developing, like it's developmental talent. Like it's gonna that I wouldn't be surprised if Sacred Heart is like super good next year. I would not be surprised.
hmm.
But with Riordan, against Sacred Heart, like it's hard to it's hard to pick, against them. So Purple Rain all day on this one. So I think they can shut this one out. I think this could be a 35-0 shutout.
35-0. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, they lost twice and two in a row. Sacred Heart, they haven't won a game.
That's why. And you got to also think about it too. Riordan's last two games were against the top two in the league right now.
Yeah.
Like those two are flying strong, especially into the playoffs. Those are the top two seeds in the playoffs. So
Yeah.
Riordan will be fine against Sacred Heart. Like again, it's too hard to pick against them right now,
I would
especially in this matchup.
love to pick Sacred Heart
Me too, but I just can't.
because I feel
I love
like this is the last game of the season. They're going to come out in full force, especially those guys that are just hungry for a win. And
right.
Riordan might be overlooking this team. They might be looking ahead to the playoffs, and that could be
Get
dangerous.
spooked. Right,
That could be dangerous.
and you
So
get
just a
spooked.
reminder to coach a Deer squad. Don't sit. I mean, you get it done. Wrap it up early. And to Sacred Heart, man, fight to the end because you
Right.
never know what could happen. And with that, I'm calling a Sacred Heart win. Hell yeah. Let's go.
Wow. Okay. That's gonna stir something. But hey, let's keep it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Our
Ooh.
all right, and our last WCL game, we got it. We got to introduce it right. Everyone knows it. It's the anticipated one because it's so big. I think this is probably one of the bigger. Let's call it a production. No
Yes.
shade at all.
Yes. No,
It's the
this is a big game.
It's the Holy War.
It's the Holy War.
It's
Nothing to do with the actual Holy War that's going on right now, but this is definitely
this is like the biggest rivalry in the league. I don't. It's just it's so
records
big.
out the door for this one.
It's just this is like what is it? This is a bragging rights game. It doesn't. They don't even care what the hell's going on. It's like who wants to win this game more just because of like you got to sit a whole year thinking about like which team beat the other one in this specific game.
Yeah.
I will still go with the Lancers on this one, just
Okay.
edging them out. I will, but like I am not gonna deny the Bells, like, they have the big play capability. They look they looked a lot more together last week against Sacred Heart. I think they needed that game just to kind of reset. And I feel like I should flip a coin. Do I have a coin somewhere? I'm actually gonna look for. Here, I have a dice. Okay. Here, so everyone sees. I have a dice. Okay.
Even
If
number.
it's even numbers will go Sarah. Even numbers will go St. Francis. Odd numbers will go Bellarmine. Are we ready?
Already.
All right, we're going Bellarmine. That was a 1.
Ooh.
And with that 1, I'm gonna say it's gonna be a 1-point game. It'll be a 1-point game, right? So we're gonna go 1-point game, 35-34.
Wow.
Bellarmine.
So that means special teams is going to be very important in this one.
And they're both strong on special teams, so I can really see this being something. Special teams is going to play a bigger part in this game more than anyone ever thinks. Whether it's going to be a kick return, punt return, block punt, block field goal, or a field goal, it's going to be something.
Yeah.
Something's gonna happen with that. But I'm gonna say 1-point game, but I will edge to the Bells. Not just because I rolled the dice, like I actually do believe it after what I saw.
Gotcha. Well,
And they need this win. Bellarmine needs this win, not just for the bragging rights of the Holy War, but they need this to stay alive.
oh, I know. I know. And I really want Bellarmine to win this one because, you already know. Parker's my nephew, and I really want him to win a big game like this. Sacred Heart was a win, but it's Sacred Heart. The team that's going to beat Riordan this weekend. But this is hard. But first of all, full moon, Friday night, one of the worst news I got was Chase Cahoon going down against Riordan. Devastating news, tore his ACL. I think there's a little bit more in the injury, but he was making a tackle and his leg got a helmet and the knee, and the highlights are there if you want to see the highlights. It's one of the big plays that Chase made. It's crazy because he made the tackle and got hurt. But Chase, I believe coming into the game, he had 93 tackles and he ended up with over 100 tackles in the season. Only played 9 games because he's out for the season. He's going to have surgery in a couple of weeks or whatnot. But as a sophomore, I've been talking about this kid since he was a freshman, 8th grader. He's one of the best I've seen. And it was just like too bad that he got hurt. And I know he's going through some emotional stuff or mental stuff, anything and everything that goes with having an injury like that. So that's a huge loss for defense. Because when somebody's calling the defense, that's usually the team captain of the defense, right?
Yeah.
So I believe he was calling the defense pretty much all season. 93 over 100 tackles in 9 games. That's amazing.
Yeah, for a sophomore too.
I vote for him as sophomore of the year in the league, just because that's hard to do as a sophomore, right?
He'll probably still get it.
I'm hoping that he gets it because he definitely deserves it. Did you see that goal line stand? That 6-play goal line stand? Ball at the 1, Riordan kept running the same play up the middle, but they're not the Lancers. So the Lancers denied them. Like, it's kind of like putting a check in the bank and getting rejected like 6 times. The Chase Bank is close, baby. He made 4 tackles in that whole series out of 6 plays. He had 2 on his own, and he was 4, and he was in there for 4. So I just want to talk about that. Send our love to Chase because he's a GSF. If we had this thing called GSF athlete, he would definitely be one of them. Been following him since he was an 8th grader. So that's a big loss. And I don't know what that defense is going to look like without Chase. But all I know is that that's going to be a fire. That's a fire that you're not going to be able to put out.
Yeah.
Holy War. The Lancers are on the road hostile territory. You know, the baby powder is gonna come out. The whiteout's gonna come out, you know, the white shirts and all that. And so as much as I want Bellarmine to win, I just want to say, let's go Lancers.
Nice. Very nice.
Yeah. I got the hat. Shout out to Mr. Coach Kiala for
I
hooking
swear,
it up.
I still need to go to every school and get something.
Hey, nice shirt, Coach. I like my hat. I'm matching. I got the full gear, by the way. They gave me the shirt too, but I don't fit in it because I'm too big right now. Hey, there you go. No, I don't want, you know, Bellarmine, prove me wrong once again. I picked the guys last week, but yeah, prove me wrong. But to the Lancers, I know they got Chase in their mind. They want to finish this up, and they're gonna want to perform defensively like perfect. So
they have to.
Brother Jackson, he's the second leading tackler. Number 5, number 4, and number 5. And I already told you about them, like, you know, the last couple of years. So they'll be all right defensively. And offensively, Aaron Knapp is just going off these days. I mean, the dude is just throwing first downs after first downs, and it's great to see. It's great to see all these teams improve, all these individual players improve throughout the season. And playoffs is right around the corner. We'll find out about the CCS stuff on Sunday.
Well, we'll pretty much know most of it by Friday. So I mean, so we covered all the WCAL. Let's see. I would say two notable games that are going to be played this week. These are all for like big placements. Would be the Salinas Palma game. It's always a big game down in Salinas. That's going to be a big one. But I know you haven't really watched, but I will say I'll give that edge to Salinas. Salinas has been playing great football all year. They challenged themselves really well in the preseason, and they just kind of rolled through their league. So, but you can't count out, Saldate and that team. They get him the ball, he will do what he needs to do with it. So that's going to be a tough game. And then the big one here, I'll be at this game on Friday. It's I'm pretty sure it's Morgan Hill's called the city of, I think it's the mushroom capital, something with mushrooms.
Garlic capital, you mean Gilroy?
Gilroy is garlic capital, but Morgan Hill is mushrooms. So it's the city of mushrooms versus the city of garlic. I don't know if I said that right, but anyways, we got Live Oak and Christopher. This is for the BVAL league title, and this is also for placement. This is a big game. Both teams undefeated. I have a lot of kids that I've trained and watched, on Christopher. So I'm hoping Christopher puts them away. But you can't count out Live Oak. And this is one of those games, it doesn't matter. Like I remember one of the years I was coaching at Christopher, they were both like doing really bad, both teams, but this game was just, oh my gosh. This is a big rivalry
game, yeah.
This is a big rivalry game. So I'm putting my money on no money. Sorry, can't bet on high school. I'm putting a lot on, Christopher. Christopher should be able to do it. Senior night, and they got to do it. This is going to determine who's going to go where in the playoffs. So a lot of playoff things are at stake this weekend, and hopefully some more weird stuff probably happens this weekend. Because I think those rankings are going to be all shook up.
Oh,
honestly.
I know. All I gotta say is go nuts.
Damn.
As in go wild and crazy.
Oh, got it. Oh, that's going to be a good one.
I'm picking the Longhorns. I'm picking the Acorns. Let's go. Live Oak. I think Live Oak. I'll take Live Oak. Oh. Let's see. What do I have here? Might as well. Okay, I'll put this. Yeah, I got the Aloha Serra. There we go. The Ohana hat. It has yellow. I'm picking Acorns.
Of course you are. So I think it's gonna be a weird weekend.
No Under Armour.
Still Under Armour. Actually, I think Live Oak I think is BSN. But anyways, I think it's gonna be a crazy weekend. A lot of good football left. A lot of people are still trying to fight for spots in the playoffs. A lot of things can happen.
Yeah.
A lot of things can happen. The battle of the who runs the South is this week too. So hey, I'm not gonna pick anything on that game because that's gonna be a crazy game. Wait, which one? Which one are you picking?
No cap. The emoji.
Yeah, so let's see who runs the South. Oak Grove ST. That's gonna be a good game too. So it's a good weekend of exciting football.
So I'm picking Live Oak. I'm picking Palma, and I'm picking
Okay.
Grove.
You're gonna pick Oak Grove. I was actually gonna say I think Oak Grove. I think they could do it. They have to. Essentially, they have to. They have to do it. They have to do it this week. So
Yeah.
let's go, boys. Cadero, Oak Grove, let's go. You guys got to do it this week. Like that's it. So I think that's all the ones that we need to really cover. I mean, those are I would say outside of the WCAL, those are kind of the big ones that stand out to me that are, pretty big, that have a lot on it. Obviously I can say anything about Monte Vista. I mean, we need to win and we need to,
I'm
we
picking
kind of
Monte Vista to win.
we should. We have to win this game, but
Who
and
you
I
guys
know a
play?
lot of we play St. Francis of Watsonville. Yeah. But
Those of you who
like
doesn't know, Coach Andrew coaches
I
for.
Monte Vista Christian.
And we try to stay away from his games because it wouldn't be right to pick. But since this is the last game of the season, let's go Mustangs.
Let's go.
Oh,
And dude, we bring horses out during the national anthem. It's
really?
awesome.
I love
Yeah, it's
that
great.
field, by the way.
It's an
So my son
amazing
plays
field.
soccer, and their home field is Monte Vista Christian.
Beautiful field, beautiful stadium. Probably one of the nicest ones I've ever been to.
Yeah.
But I will say, on top of with Monte Vista, there's also a lot of teams that are in the same. So this is kind of going into our what's on our mind. It's not really what's on our mind. This is what's happening. There's a lot of games that a lot of results, you got to take care of what you need to take care of. So if you need to win this week, and then just let the chips fall where they may.
Yeah.
A lot of teams have to rely on a lot of other people, so a lot of other games. So at the end of the day, control what you can control and then just kind of see where it lies. And the best thing that you can do, and this is for everyone that watches, all the teams that watch, the best thing that you can do is just put an exclamation point at the end of the season. Go out on a win. That's always the best thing to go out on because now you can carry momentum into the next season, into your off season. You know how you ended it. Now you know what you need to fix going into the off season. And off season starts for majority of you guys. Take a week off, enjoy Thanksgiving, and then try to figure out what it is that you need to do moving forward. Where do you need to go get, to get better, right? Because if you improve as an athlete, you're helping out your team, and then you get your team to work out together. Then everyone, you got to get everybody. Everyone's got to be bought in, and everyone's got to be on the same page. Coaches like myself, Coach Romo, and all the other coaches that do it. We're out here to help you guys. Once our seasons are over, we're free game. You guys can come train with us whenever you want. Doesn't matter. But take advantage, go to camps, go to these combines. We're going to be doing ours again. I'm assuming we're going to do our top dog. Go to those. Those things actually help you out more than you think.
Yeah.
And if you have a chance to go to any other camps, everyone's already doing it. And then if you need to play sevens, just to understand the game of football a little bit more, your quarterbacks and these receivers, especially and the DBs, if you need that extra work and you want to get live reps, do sevens. Find a sevens team. Tell your school, hey, can we put a sevens team together? Go and do that because this is just what makes you better. And then if you have a chance to play another sport, play another sport, you know, just make yourself more athletic. And then, you know, if football is your only thing, there's a lot of outlets. So a lot of things to go over. I think we can cover this more probably next week. We'll probably talk about like what to expect in the off season. You know what? That'll be my segment next week. I'll talk about that, like how you should game plan your off season moving forward, going into your next year. And then if you for your seniors, once it goes out, when Al says yes, he'll do it. He'll post it. Get nominated. GSF All-Star Game is coming up, and get your grades up. And here's my last tidbit for the seniors. Get your grades up now, because if you are trying to get recruited right now and your grades are bad, you will not get recruited. So once the season ends for a majority of you, take care of your grades now. Like now. Should have been done yesterday. Actually, should have been done 3 years ago when you were a freshman. So take care of that now. Coach Andrew has spoken.
Perfect. And we will end with that because I got to do some unpacking and get ready for this coming weekend. Coach Andrew, appreciate your time, man.
Yeah, I will be at that game, so I'll get some I'll capture some footage.
There you go.
And I'll
All right, people, comments, suggestions, ideas. You know what to do. If you want to talk smack, go for it. Perfect.